Well, Shannon, this guy is your MVP pick. So, what do you make of this?
I love the professionalism. I just love to hear him talk.
You do?
I do, and how he explains it. Yeah, he got that country. I mean, he need that old Paul Bunyan, that red check, that Cabello shirt on to make it. Because he fits that.
I don't think he's country. I just think he's nerdy.
Stop. I know you're not talking about nerdy.
In there.
Yeah.
A little country, too. I hear it, both sides.
Maybe I'm not as worried as I should be, Skip, because it's starting to cause some concern for me because it's Jenny Red. He's been dealing with this since April.
Yeah.
Well, Skip, here we are. We're about to start August. And maybe if it was the last preseason game and he's still dealing with this, I would be overly concerned. But I'm optimistic that they'll get to the root of this and see what's going on. He understands that in order for this team to take the next step, they won a playoff game last year. Skip, I believe they can win the division. I think they can win 11, 12 games. But they can only do that if Andrew Luck has taken virtually every snap. Now, they do have a little better backup situation than most. Jacoby Brissett is a very quality backup. Came from New England, played well, won a game from them there, and has played really well when given opportunities. So they have a nice quality backup, but he can't take them to where they need to be. Andrew Luck must do that. So, Skip, look, they're going to be really, really smart about this, dealing with his injury history, and he mentioned that. We didn't get to that part, Skip. He's like, I made that mistake before. My shoulder was more injured than I thought. And I was like, I'm just going to fight through it. I'm not going to make a whole lot of fuss about it. And it cost him a year. Well, it costs you a year. You're going to be overly cautious. Because the least little pinch, you're like, nah, I ain't going to be able to go, bro. And so I think that's what he's doing. They're doing the right thing by letting him handle it this way. As I said before, Skip, if this was the last preseason game, I would be overly concerned. But because we're at the start of August and they don't play until, almost a week after Labor Day, I believe they'll get to the root of this. But then in the back of my mind, I'm saying, well, hell, it's been 3 months. Why haven't they gotten to the root of it already? So I'm not overly concerned, but I'm cautiously looking to see what's going on and how much longer this thing's going to linger into training camp.
So here we go again with Andrew Luck.
There you go.
It's always something with Andrew Luck. It always has been, and I believe it always will be.
Whatever.
Just for the record, before that draft, I said, I have my doubts about the next John Elway. And all of the media just jumped aboard the bandwagon. He's here. The next John Elway. You should know a little something about Elway because you caught a bunch of passes from him, right?
I did.
And he's still not the next John Elway because right out of the box, and by the way, I said he'd be the second best quarterback in that draft to Robert Griffin III, and RG3 got off to a rip-roaring start. They actually struggled a little bit the first, but he was the offensive rookie of the year. Andrew Luck was second in the National Football League in turnovers as a rookie. Then 2 years later, 2014, he was second in the NFL in turnovers. And then 2016, he was tied for sixth. Then 2018, he was 10th in turnovers. So he's 8th overall in turnovers since his rookie year. That's not the next John Elway. Worse than that, in the postseason since his rookie year, the next Elway is number 1 in interceptions thrown per game and number 1 in turnovers committed per game, if you throw in the fumbles he has lost.
Well, Skip Haley threw like 10 against New England that way.
He threw 4.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the deflate game, right?
Yes.
So what have we seen right out of the box? The first year he lost to Ray and company, not with you, but obviously at Baltimore. No shame there. But then the classic Andrew Luck game was the next year in Indy. And remember, they finally pulled it out 45-44. But that's after they fell behind 38-10 because he had thrown 3 interceptions. They're down 38-10 because of 3. Then Kansas City gets decimated by injuries on both sides of the ball. They lose all their running backs, a couple of receivers, both pass rushers are gone, and Alex Smith crumbled under the pressure. So anyway. But then we saw at Foxborough, we saw 4 interceptions one night, and then we saw 2 interceptions at Foxborough in another playoff game with very low QBRs. And then I made the mistake last year of thinking, well, he is the comeback player of the year. And boy, I love his new offensive line because they are really protecting Andrew Luck. And it was the first case of diet do I have lost to you in a year. And I took Andrew Luck. Oh, shame on me.
Over who?
I took Andrew Luck at Kansas City in a playoff game.
Exactly.
And the final score was 31-13, not Andrew Luck. And his QBR in that game was 20 on a scale of 0 to 100, which is really not
Well, you
good.
lost 2 cases due to me because they gave it to the old Cowboy. Remember they put that thing on the Cowboy?
No, that was not a case of due game.
You were scared. I forgot about that.
No, I think I got blinded by that game because that was 23-0, and it wasn't just Andrew Luck. It was the whole show. It was running, it was catching, it was dominant defense. It was 23-0.
Yep.
My team was not ready to play because my team thought it was in the catbird seat, and they weren't quite ready for that. My point is, Andrew Luck has always been the coach's dream who will try his darndest. You know, he'll try to run through and over people. He'll stand in the pocket too long and take 5 shots at once.
Not anymore.
Yeah, okay, but he does have some cauliflower body going on.
Yeah.
And this is eerily reminiscent of Kevin Durant because, like he's saying, I got a calf strain that has lingered since late April. So now we're going out, what's that, a couple of months now? Okay.
May, June, July, we're about to head into August.
Yeah, okay. And lower leg, so calf muscles connect into the Achilles, but he says, the Achilles is...
And that's fun. That's odd to me, Skip, because I've had ankle injuries that didn't have no impact on my calf, and I've had calf injuries that had no impact on my ankle. So that's what's odd to me. He says that when he's throwing the ball, that it's his calf, but he feels it in his ankle. Yep. That's what's odd. That's what's odd to me because I've had calf strain. I missed 2 or 3 days of practice. You know, ice it, rest. You know, get a cup. You know, and I'm ready to go. Okay. And this guy has been dealing with this since late April.
Interesting.
So that's what, and that's, you know, I'm like, okay, the team should be very cautious with him. There's nothing to play for. And if he didn't even play in the preseason, he has a few new receivers. Paris Campbell was the first-round pick. They signed Devin Funchess.
I love Paris Campbell, by the way. He will help.
Yeah, they signed Devin Funchess in free agency. But T.Y. Hilton, Eric Ebron, you know, the offensive line is intact. So
it's a loaded football team.
Yeah. They signed Justin Houston, the pass rush out of Kansas City. So they're prime, Skip, to not only win the AFC South, but to make a deep playoff run because they're loaded. They're a very talented football team, but they're only going to go if Andrew Luck can stay upright for 16 games.
Or if he can turn into John Elway in the postseason, which he has not been. Am I right?
Yeah.
When has he been in the postseason? He's 4-4 in the postseason, 12 touchdowns to 13 interceptions, not Elway-esque.
Well, you know, you got to take care of the football because you pay double for turnovers in the playoffs. But I think the thing is, Skip, for me, and I've always felt this way, if you limp into the regular season, you limping out of it. It's hard. This is not a sport that you can get healthy on the job because you're playing week after week, and whatever is ailing you, guess what? Somebody's going to hit you on it. Someone's going to land on it.
Yep.
So I don't know how he's going to get healthier once the season starts. You just hope that he can get to a point that he can manage it and he doesn't do any more damage once the season starts than what's going on right now. But this is not a good sign. I mean, they're saying, well, we're not overly concerned, but you don't want your quarterback, the guy that everything is going to be predicated on, to have any kind of issues heading into the season.
Absolutely.
So why did I have my doubts about Andrew Luck as in his last year at Stanford? Because I actually watched all the big games. They played Oregon at home fairly early that year, and he stunk it up. They went to USC, and they did win a shootout against a pretty average USC team. But he threw a late pick six, picked off by Nickel Roby Coleman. Aha! He of Saints infamy, right? Aha!
Okay.
And then what happened in his final collegiate game in the Fiesta Bowl? Andrew Luck lost to Brandon Weeden. And I just said, I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see that. I don't see what everybody else sees.
And what would he do? But see, what Skip failed to realize is that when he threw that pick against USC, Bradley Roby Coleman ran it back. He walked to the sideline and told David Shaw, I got this. I'm going to go win it. And what did he do, Skip? Tell the people at home now, if you're going to tell
it off. Yeah.
I mean, we got to tell
the full story.
Right. I mean, you tell a parent.
Throw a late pick six that allows them back into the game.
You can if you going to finish it off. Skip, really? You know how fairy tales go. Fairy tales go what they do, Jen? In the beginning. And then what you got to have? the end. So Skip just want to give you in the beginning, but he didn't want to give you the end. I got to give you the
so
end.
After his third interception against Kansas City in that playoff game at Indy, it's 38-10 Kansas City. I assume he walked to the sideline and said, I got it.
I got it.
Right?
Yeah. You know, Joe Pagano, relax.
Really? Are you ready to switch your MVP pick?
No.
I give you the option.
No.
I give you the right.
No.
You're sticking with it?
For the time being.
Really, for the time being.
You're gonna stay.
Yep.
We do have 5.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.